Germany and Nigerian businesses signed two crucial agreements in Berlin on Tuesday, marking a major step towards deepening commercial ties. The $500 million agreements, which include a gas export contract and a renewable energy agreement, represent a turning point in bilateral cooperation. A formal memorandum of understanding on the renewable energy was signed by the Union Bank of Nigeria and the DWS Group of Germany. Through the strategic alliance, $500 million in funding intended for renewable energy projects will be drawn in, with major focus on rural populations in Nigeria. Now, joining me to discuss these further is Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu. Mr. Chika, it's great to have you on the show. Good morning to you.
How are you today?
Very well, thanks. And yourself?
Good,
great.
Good.
Well, let's begin. Nigeria and Germany signing deals to the tune of $500 million. That's quite monumental, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, Abby, before I go to that story.
Yes, please.
I would have thought that the first thing that first feedback would have gotten from this trip to Germany is on the Siemens deal, the Siemens power deal that we celebrated the government about 2 years ago when it was announced. And since then, there have been little or no progress report given to us. And power happens to be the number one problem we have in our country. So then we thought that that was a silver bullet for us to solve our problem. So I would have thought that the issue of Siemens, somebody at least would have given us an update, or if I were a journalist on that train, I would be able to ask questions on that. But be that as it may, something has come out.
It's a valid point.
Something's come out from. I hope that they will talk about that one way or the other.
And certainly.
Something has come out from the trip. Our president has been moving around, which is good. Everywhere that there's potential to get an investment, to speak to investors, he's been there. So the compact G20's meeting in Germany, he's been there and trying to get the deals for us. Specifically, this kind of deals I would like. Coming to our country is a $500 million investment or renewable energy, especially for rural areas, and with that investment. And then going out will be, the LNG, which if you go to the river state, Port Harcourt, anywhere you see the flaring, or even the flights are landing, you'll see the gas were burning everything every day. So it's good that deal is in play. And as usual, this delivery will be 2026, with 850 million cubic meters of gas, rising up to 1.2 million of that. As is, we went to this kind of deals, the details will be in the execution, because I'm sure that Nigeria has signed so many of this kind of MOUs, but the issues, what has come to the country subsequently following that. And so we hope that execution, which is on the plate for this government, will come to play. One thing that's good there is that the sing-song happens that everybody is, the international community always claps for the fact that we're able to remove first subsidy, and then also deregulate our FX market, and everybody commends our country in that, and it will help the issue of investment to come into our country. So it's salutary, and we hope that, as I said, execution, the last mile, everything works out.
I like that you always remind us of that, bring us back to the reality that, look, until it happens, it hasn't happened, which is very important. You hold people to it. And of course, this is also in line with the commitment for the German Chancellor, who very recently said, is going to commit to, some green energy investments.
About $4 billion for Africa.
Yeah. So
I guess like, we're getting $500 million out of the $4 billion already.
So we have a bit to go.
We have a bit to go, yes.
Right. Well, let's move on to the CBN postponing the MPC meeting for a second time in spite of surge in inflation. What do we make of that?
Okay, the last MPC meeting, MPC means, for our viewers, Monetary Policy Committee. That's the highest ruling committee in Central Bank of Nigeria that determines the direction of interest rates in the country. Basically, what the MPC does when they meet every 2 months, usually at the beginning of the year, why this is an issue really, is because at the beginning of the year, the timetable is put out there with exact dates on when the meetings will hold. And expectation for the community, investors, Nigerians, financial community and everybody who's interested in the Nigerian financial system or economic system will diarize it. Because as we are here now, we can actually talk about Kenya when they're going to hold their MPC or Ghana. So worldwide, that is known. And so whenever it is not held, usually it's seen as a misnomer. I guess that's why it's news. Let me just put it out there for our viewers. That's why it's like news. Now, but so when it's not held, what could be the issues? Remember the CBN governor, the current team, the governor and the 4 deputy governors came in, I think September, and when they came in, was the just coming in of I think within the time they came in, the first MPC was going to hold. But that's just before they came in, the first one was going to hold. But I guess the exiting the CBN team just said, let's not do anything. Let the new governor comes in. So the new governor comes in, a team comes in and says, let's settle down a little and try and understand what we're going. So instead of going to the committee and not having the full plate of things to discuss, I guess that's what's happening. I mean, it's not unreal that this may happen. I just want to put it out there. It's not unreal that the people are still trying to settle down, and that this committee takes major decisions, and it's important that all the parameters they shower the parameters in a basket before they go out and make decisions.
Right. So it's certainly fair.
But the decisions not too far.
Right. Because investors
interest rates direction, which will help talk about exchange rates also. So investors are held in abeyance. The economic decision makers, including corporates, are held in abeyance. Look, citizens and financial community are held in abeyance because we have runaway inflation. The last inflation report came out. You see where it's hanging up there, and so the last MPC meeting was about 18.75 because the only two they have to chase that is basically using the monetary policy rate, and to either move it up, keep it the same level, move it up or move it down. And if they move it up, it makes borrowing expensive, dries up naira in the system, and helps to reduce inflation. That's really the two they have. And of course, the other thing, the issue is that everyone wants to hear is the backlog of effects we have in the country. How are they going to clear it? I guess that's it. Cutting the pepper and cutting the onions, and trying to cook some things in the kitchen before they call us for the meal. I'm sure that's what's may happen. So let's give them. But the issue is usually the last MPC meeting is normally held in November, and then the next one will be held in January. And so we don't know what's going to happen now because they didn't tell us what will happen when the next meeting will hold, and what will happen for the year end. But there's some grapevine that says because on Friday is the annual bankers dinner, and it was called I think Governors Evening, and I have a feeling usually CBN governors normally use there to push out direction of review the current situation and push out their policies for the next year. So hope that what we didn't hear at the MPC meeting, we'll hear at the governor's dinner. So there's more interest now and listen to the speech of the governor during the governor's dinner on Friday.
Absolutely. Well, it's a very balanced view. It's fair to say that there could be some very reasonable reasons for the hold-up, but like you said, Nigerians are hungry for this meal. So let's hope that we're not going to tarry for too long. All right, business analyst Chika and Mbonu, many thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Abby.